Welcome friends. In the last video we have seen how to create our first web mapping application. So if you have followed the code successfully, you should have a web map displayed like this. Even if you are not having a map, not an issue, we will debug your code in this session and we'll make sure that you have one such map. So to start with debugging, you open up your browser and your map should display like this. If it is not displaying, just click on these three dots and in that go to more tools and go to developer tools. So it will open up a window like this will help us in debugging the code. Because I'm not having any issue in this code, it is working perfectly fine for me, and so there is no error displayed over here. But let us see which are the common places where you can make the mistake and how error will appear. So I will open up the code. So we'll start with HTML. Now, here in this HTML file, we have given a reference to open layer libraries. We have given a reference to CSS file over here. We have given reference to JavaScript here. Now, this is a case sensitive and you have to provide the complete path. In case you are making a mistake over here, the map will not display correctly. So let me change it from OL instead of OL. If you have typed by chance OK, now let me save it. And now because of live server, the map would have refreshed automatically, and see, now it is not displaying. And here in the console we are getting the error, uncaught reference OL is not defined, that is in main JavaScript. At the same time, ok.js is not found. You can see over here we are getting two errors. One is ok.js is not found, second is ol.not defined. Let us understand. ok.js is not found, line number 13 of HTML file. Let us see over here, ok.js is not available at this path. So this is a perfect error description, so we can solve it. Next error that we were getting is OL is not defined in the main.js line number 4, right? So let us open JavaScript file and line number 4 is it. And here you can see we have defined ol.map, but this ol class, we can use ol class only if we have given a proper reference to JavaScript file for open layers. So if we correct this thing, both the errors will be corrected automatically. Now let me save it, and if you open the browser, the map is displaying perfectly. Okay, so this can be one of the issue. Next thing is main.js, like ol, if you have given just main and then if you save it, then HTML file will not be able to reference the mains.js file which we have created, and in absence of that it will not be able to display the map. And you can see over here main.js not found, right, in the HTML code line number 14. So this is where you can see line number 14, you have to correct that. So mains.js, it will correct the issue and the map will be displayed perfectly. Now let us look at the JavaScript file where all you can make the mistake. One of the prominent place where you can make the mistake is here. Instead of window, if you by chance type windows and save it, it will not work. See, it is giving an error. Windows is not defined because the accurate keyword is window. That is what you should define. So it is internally defined in HTML. So window.onload init. Now instead of init, if you by chance type something else, it will not work. Now let us come back to this line. Here ol.map. Now JavaScript is a case sensitive, so you have to give the accurate name of the class. Here we are creating an object or an instance of a map class. By chance, if you type with this thing with a smaller case, then this is because this is a case sensitive, it will not be able to identify the exact class for which you want to create the object, and in that case it will give an error. So you can see ol.map is not a constructor, line number 4. So this is where there is a issue. So you have to provide a perfect case sensitive information. So when we change it, it will work fine. Same way for view, same way for tile, you have to provide perfectly. Let me save it. Now here the last place where you can make a mistake is a target. Now you can see over here it is a map. In HTML we have defined a div element to contain the map, and id is map. So this map should perfectly match with this map identified in target area. So by chance, if you type over here my map and save it, map will not be displayed. It is a blank. Though it is not giving any error, but map is not displaying because here we are giving target as my map, whereas in HTML there is no such element called my map. So make sure that it is matching perfectly. So here I will change it back to my map instead of my map. I will change it back to map, and now map should display perfectly. So this is the another area. Now style will not create much error, but then it will not display the way you want. Now instead of hash map, if you just type map, then this styling will not be applied to HTML element properly, because here you have to provide hash so that it will match with the ID. Now here I have removed the hash. Let me save it and let us see over here. Map is not displaying and error is also not coming. So here you have to provide hash map. Sometimes people use dot, that is for class. So if I define my map with class, then I can use dot, but here I have defined with ID, so I have to use hash. Make sure you have given all these parameters accurately. I think these are the places where you can make a mistake. If you have taken care of it, I don't think there is any reason that you don't get the map. I'm sure you should get the map. Throughout our exercise, we will constantly use this console panel to get idea on what kind of error we are getting. Sometimes we use this console area to debug the code or to develop the code. We will learn in upcoming lectures. So make sure that you have given all the parameters correctly. Now take a note of one more thing. During this entire course, I'll be sharing various resources, HTML files, JavaScript file, and entire the source code. I'll share this entire folder. Now, when you want to run this code, you want to test this code, one way is you can just directly double click on this HTML file in your folder like this. If you just double click on this HTML file, it will work, but there are some cases it will not work. So what I would recommend is you open up your code in Visual Studio Code application, and then you have to run it in a live server, or else you should have some web server in which you should have published this application. I would recommend that you install Visual Studio Code and install live server, and for every code that I provide, you use with the live server, so that all the application will work perfectly fine. I hope this clarifies all of your doubt, and at the end you should have a perfectly working web mapping application. So for this session, we'll keep it up to this point. See you in the next session. Thank you.